Okay, I think we might be ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4:30 Adelaide time. I'm just checking my messages coming through here to make sure that everything's all right there and you can all hear me okay. Um, I'll just sort of ramble on a little bit for a little while just to make sure that we've got everyone on deck. But introduce myself first. My name's Matt Johnson. I work with Trader in Adelaide, or the GSM electrical business. Been in the industry for a solid 25 years or so. And I'd like to welcome you all out there today for joining us on this Mesh Forum. We've obviously had quite a few of these now. This is episode two of what we're trialing now as the installer experience, so something a little bit different. We've got contractors, electrical contractors on the line. We've got electrical wholesalers on the line. Our staff, we've got some of our competitors on the line. It's always a good way for them to listen in and hear what we're doing. And we've also got some members of the Zimmy team that are listening in and can help us out with any of the technical inquiries that might come through. So a few of those are popping up now, and I can see people jumping on the screen here. So we're getting some really good numbers, which is really positive. So look, wherever you are, we're just really thankful for your time and for jumping on. And we really hope that this next 45 minutes or so can give you something that can help you in your business, help you get the most out of your Powermesh experience, and ensure that you are providing a wonderful solution to your customers. That's really what we're all about. And we know you're all busy. Hopefully this is a reasonable time of day. We've tried a few different times. Some work very well, some not so well. So really what we are doing though, to fill you in, these Mesh Forums are a quarterly podcast. That's the format that we've settled on. We've tried a few different ways of doing it. We really want to try and create this community where we interact, we share information with you. You can send some questions our way down the bottom. Just click on your Q&A section at the bottom, and we'll make sure we answer some of those at the bottom. But just to make sure that we're here to help and provide this public forum to help you with your installations of Powermesh, and hopefully give you a lot of ideas, because we do stress, although Powermesh has evolved as a home automation product, we try and steer away from that, because it really is a product that each device, whether it be a fan controller, a switch, the PowerPoint, it just provides so many solutions to your everyday problems. And you're going to hear a few examples today of how it is much easier to use Powermesh than the traditional wiring processes. So look, what it's all about today, listen in, discuss the Powermesh installations. We're going to talk about some tips and tricks that are out in the field and being utilized. We're also going to cover off briefly what's new with Powermesh and Zimi. So remembering, for those of you that are new, Zimi is really the software experience, and Powermesh is the hardware experience. So Powermesh being the fan controller, the switches, the devices, and Zimi is the app and the software behind it. So those two different parts of it, and Trader distributes Powermesh product to the electrical wholesale channel, and that's what we're all about and how we fit into it. So we're going to talk about what's new, Powermesh and Zimi, and also hear from you. And if there's any issues you want to raise or anything we want to discuss, we certainly don't hide from anything. We're more than happy to help. And if we can't help here, we can certainly take all your feedback on board and come back to you with any further information. So really what the forum is today, we've got two different electrical contractors who'll be joining us. And they've used Powermesh and are using Powermesh on a regular basis in some instances, and predominantly in the residential market. So we're going to talk to them about some of the installs they've done, how they've used Powermesh as a solution in their business, and how it's worked for them, and how you might be able to apply that in your own area. We're going to certainly go through those new products, as I've discussed, that we've launched in some way, and also some of the products that are just on the horizon and about to be launched. One that's really just hit the market is the garage door controller, which, if you haven't used, has proven to be a wonderful product. You can see that popping up on your screen at the moment. So it's really something exciting that we can talk about. And the opportunity is for the best questions that come in today, or best question, we're going to give away a Powermesh garage controller with sensor. So those two units are required to control a garage door. If you do want to control two garage doors, you only need the one controller and two sensors. But we can talk a little bit about that later on. So that is the promotional prize that we're giving away today. It's got a trade of just under $300, so it's certainly a reasonable giveaway. So please have a good think about some questions you can ask, and we'll make sure that the best is rewarded with one of those Powermesh garage door controllers by the end of this session. All right, so get ready with those questions. That prize will be available, and we'll send that out to you. And just remembering there is a Q&A at the bottom of your screen when you're on Zoom. So feel free to type them in. You don't have to expose who you are. You don't necessarily, you can all do it anonymously if you like. Or alternatively, if you're anonymous, you're not going to win the prize. That's the one thing I'd stress. So really, the opportunity now is to go, and we're going to talk to some contractors. We've got 2 sessions here where we're speaking with the Sparkies. So the first is Aaron Bateman and Chris Willoughby. They're from Redline Electrical in South Australia. So hopefully, if all going well, we'll be able to check. And Aaron, are you there? Can I? And Chris,
yes, I'm here. All good.
Sensational. Welcome to, and thank you very much for your time today. We really appreciate it. So Aaron and Chris, is Chris there with you as well?
Yes, yeah, I'm here, mate. How you doing?
Oh, sensational. Yeah, very well. Thanks, guys. Look, we really do appreciate it. Thank you for coming online and helping out some of these guys. So just a bit of food for thought for the guys that are on the Zoom. Can you tell us a little bit about Redline and what sort of business you do and where you've come from to get to where you are today?
Yeah, look, so I've been in the industry for just over 20 years now and working for Redline, doing our own thing for about 7. So we trade on some high-end homes throughout Adelaide, some commercial, industrial as well. So all fields everywhere. And that's basically mainly like the high-end renovations and a lot in the domestic market, but also do like the, small to medium like commercial fit outs as well, whether that be gyms or dental clinics or medical facilities, stuff like that. And yeah, just general maintenance as well.
Okay, so really, it's almost the sweet spot for the Powermesh product, I think, in terms of what you're doing. It's the applications in residential and that smaller commercial are phenomenal. It's really where we've been getting most of the growth in sales of that product as well. So a perfect fit. So I think one of the reasons we got you on, we've obviously been using Powermesh in a few different examples of it. And one of the examples that the guys have suggested to me today is that you did a bit of problem solving of late using Powermesh. So I believe you had an underground cable fault, or you could perhaps embellish on exactly what occurred, and you were able to solve the issue with Powermesh. Can you tell us a little bit about how you did that?
Yeah, so we have an existing client in a house in Adelaide in the CBD here, like a really nice old school colonial home with like a modern extension on the back. And we didn't do the fit out for the home. It was probably done like 10 plus years ago, but there was a detached carport, which you can kind of make out there in the photo. And there's conduit, and I imagine the existing renovation had been poured over the conduits, and there might have been an underground join from what we could figure, because there was just a dead short on all actives going out there, switch wires and strappers and everything. So we had no control for existing 2 ways from like the existing house to the carport and then the courtyard that was between them.
Right.
And they had like a really nice outdoor courtyard with like fantastic landscaping. So there was no way for us to really impede that without doing conduits or taking up pavers and just heavy labor costs in rerunning cables. So we had another power feed coming in from the other side of the building, which we reused and put another subboard and then broke it down and then rewired the garage lighting and then used Powermesh like Behaviour link to control the existing outside lighting on the house from the garage, and then put another Powermesh switch in the house and then Behaviour linked to that double power point you can see there for the existing fountain and fountain garden lights. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
They really just completely gave them the existing control plus more they had without having to really do any damage and like excess costs from our end, and let alone any other contractors to fix up the landscaping.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh, look, well, there's so many benefits there. So I guess you're not wrecking the beautiful landscaping they've got done there. You're getting all the features and benefits of Zimmy, so they're then able to control things via the phone or the voice control or whichever. I'm not sure if they use voice control in this instance, however, but so you're getting those aspects plus saving them a significant amount of money if you had to go and do all those works.
The money was obviously like a big selling point for them, but obviously like they were quite an elderly couple. So initially they were a bit hesitant on like the app. So we just kind of went like, look, I can set up the app, any scheduling with the fountains and stuff. We just kind of set and forget for them. But it was more so to just so we didn't have to put any conduits or like I said, rip up. And they were really kind of conscientious about like keeping the garden as best they could, you know what I mean? And obviously it would just be an absolute headache for them to get in other contractors and do that sort of stuff. So I managed to solve the problem perfectly. And this was like the first instance where we used Behaviour Link and it been a complete success, and then, gave us the confidence to kind of go from there.
That's right.
To the jobs we've been using it since then.
Perfect. And I think, I mean, you mentioned Behaviour Link a few times, but there might be some people on the call today that aren't aware of what it is. Really, I mean, the best example we can give is you could have a one gang switch on the wall, and you can just create and at the moment swap it over for a two gang, and then that second switch, actually you can link the behavior of that switch to any other Powermesh device on the network. So an example might be in the picture you can see on the screen at the moment. You might have that bottom switch there controlling a power point that is connected to that lamp in the corner. So that's the sort of thing. You're just nominating a behavior that is linked to that second switch. And that sounds like what you've done to get you through some of these challenges.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got two gangs, one in the garage and one here in this living room, but there was really just one switch wire at each, and we just behavior link the other one to the other one, giving them the two-way function without actually having the switch wire cable at that switch.
Perfect. So, sorry, go on.
No, just solving that problem, which is, worked out brilliantly.
Excellent. And so you set up the schedules for the client. You mentioned that they were a more elder couple. So you set up the scheduling and set up the actual Zimmy app for them. And then how did you transfer that across to them? There's a couple of methods for doing that. How did you go about passing that network across, or did you just do it on their phone?
No, I just I set up on my phone and then just QR'd from, I got them to make an account. Like I went through everything with them and then just scanned the QR code on my Zimmy app, the new network I'd made for their home, and then straight away popped up, and they've had access ever since.
Perfect.
And but like I said, they don't really use the app so much, but as far as they've told us, and we've done other work since there, the schedules are still running, fountains come on as they need, and they've obviously still got override on that behavior link switch on the two gang in the living room to manually turn the fountain on if they wanted it for whatever reason.
Excellent. I think that is one of the real benefits of the Powermesh system. And it's all about the experience and the simplicity of it. And I think you've nailed it there. I mean, you as a contractor, you can set up your client's network, you can set their schedules, you can set it and forget for them, and then you can pass it off to them. As you mentioned, there's a QR code which you can scan and put onto their phone, and they instantly, the same network that you've set up on yours is transferred across to their phone, and there's their network, and that works beautifully. You can also provide an email, just send an email, they open that link, and then the network transfers across that way. So it really has been designed just simply and easily, so that once you've done the work for the client, you can pass it off to them very easily, and you can go on and move on about your way. I know Simon Gerard always mentions you do that and you don't send them the network until they paid the bill. I'm not sure that's the right way to go about it, but that certainly is a possibility. You can do that. So that's some great stuff. So I think, Chris, also, I think you've recently installed the Powermesh garage door controller, from what I understand. There's an example on the screen there at the moment. It might be one that you've done. How did that go?
Yeah, that was fine. And just like you mentioned before we started, like I've got two garage doors right there, one kind of where the camera's at the moment. So I've got the one controller and then two sensors, two outputs on that. And yeah, that was incredibly easy. Just wiring to the little auxiliary inputs on the garage door controllers, and then just kind of learn it as it does any other device. It does a few up and downs, learns where the motor and everything is, and then away you go in full control.
Yeah, excellent. And I understand you've also linked this to other Powermesh devices. Is that correct?
I haven't done that yet, but that is my next job. The idea being that I will behavior link this garage door to the garage door lights. So when they come on, they drive to the garage door opens up, there's a full gang there, and then hopefully the garage door lights can come on at the same time. And I have behavior linked those garage lights to, in this particular home, there's kind of like three entrances to the garage. So there's like the front door, there's a sort of back entryway, then a back door where you can come through into the garage. So there's like a four gang at each switch plate, where there was a two or a three before, and I've just behavior linked that garage light, so they can, at any way they move in and out of that room, they can turn the lights on or off.
Perfect. I think, and the flexibility of this garage door controller, I mean, this product has been developed with Steel Line Garage Door, which we believe manufacture more garage doors in Australia than anybody else. So we've done it in partnership with them, and the beauty of it, we've designed it for many of the different things, and it can be opened full. You can close it. You can stop it at a certain level as well. It is becoming quite popular overseas initially, and also now in Australia, because of the surge towards internet shopping and online shopping and so on. people are able to basically, when you could get a call from the delivery driver that's dropping off your items, you could actually remotely, you could be in the office or out on a job or whatever, you could then remotely open the garage door just 30 centimeters to allow that to be dropped off. You could also obviously link it in this instance to perhaps a Google camera. You could watch this all happening as well. And then you can shut the garage door down once the person has completed the delivery. So lots of different functionality, and that sounds like it may sound like a small thing, but that is becoming more and more common now as a way and means of delivering. So you're not just leaving your delivery on the front doorstep and hoping no one comes and grabs it. It's a secure delivery. The garage door's secured. This gives you the feedback that you can confirm the door has closed correctly after that's occurred. So there are some wonderful benefits of a product like this, and you can just see how Powermesh is now going to expand into so many other areas as well. I think so having done this, Chris, you're certainly talking very positively about it, and we'd love you to talk positively. So are you looking at, you've got the confidence now, would you use this product again?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you're saying, especially with the new garage door controller, like that is the client's aim at the end, is to have like full camera set up. So then, you can see people delivering and all that sort of stuff, and whether they want to open it fully or 20%, let the item get delivered while they're out at work, and then they can see it close. It's also got like a log in there of who's operating, when it's operated, like each garage door. So that's also handy to know if his wife leaves her garage door open and then, it's not secure, he can always blame him because there's a log in there. So it's just good. Yeah, I can see the potential, and the client sees the potential. So, they're willing to go ahead and do it. It's been, like I said, it worked first go. So now we're confident in, selling to other clients if it suits them and they're after something like that.
Excellent. So I think, that's what we'd urge. I mean, if anything, if you're new to Powermesh and you haven't really had a go, give it a go. I mean, you might find a couple of challenges in the first instance. It's very simple. It generally works first time. Once you've had a couple of goes at it, you'll be an expert. It really is simple. It's reliable. And I'm certainly standing here, I've got it throughout my place, and voice control, the likes. My son loves the voice control. My daughter, not so much. But the Behaviour link in particular, I never quite realised the power of Behaviour link. It was an idea by Jordan and Jai and the guys at Zimmy. There's a good example on the screen now where you really can. I mean, you can see there on that 4-gang, 3 of those buttons. So really, there's only one load on that main switch there, a 4-gang switch. The other 3 can be used to control other devices. So the bottom left one is controlling a fan controller. The bottom right is controlling, I think it's a dimmer there. So, and that does literally do that. So you hold that top right button on the 4-gang switch down, and if that is a dimmer, it's a bit small on my screen, then you hold that down for a period of time, the lights will dim down and then dim back up again. Or that 4th switch can be turning off garden lights at the double power point over there. And remembering that all these things can be on schedules, you can be controlled from the app. But this Behaviour link, you might only put a 1-gang switch there normally, but why wouldn't you just put a 4-gang? And over time, you might think, what would be great if I could switch my festoon lights from this back door. I didn't think of that before. Oh, well, I've got a spare switch. Right, I can control it. So really, yes, home automation, Powermesh is wonderful, but this Behaviour link really is a whole new way of wiring a home. And once you've done it and you started playing with it, you'll realize just how many examples there are to make life better for your clients, but also make life better for you. There's means of installing when a client says, I need to be able to turn my light off here, and by the time I get to bed, the light switches off. There's various things you can do by Behaviour linking the switch at the door to the switch by the bed. It's just an infinite amount of flexibility, almost infinite amount of flexibility, that just gives you some wonderful ways to solve clients' problems. All right. So I think, look, guys, thank you very much, guys at Redline. Is there anything else you wanted to add before you go? Don't feel obliged, but we certainly appreciate your time.
No, that's great. We're happy to help and contribute anything. All is good. I think we're kind of wiring a pretty decent home in North Adelaide here at the moment. So we're still kind of wiring to the same way you normally would at home. But like we're saying, it just gives us to think about how we can implement it, through a general first and second fix in a home. Just keep thinking of ideas, and it seems to be paying off. So go for it.
Excellent. All right, guys, that's great. Thank you very much. We'll leave you guys to have a bit of a rest. We'll talk with another contractor shortly, but just one thing that we did want to introduce you to throughout this, just to break it up a little bit, is some new products. Now, it's not specifically Powermesh, but one thing that we have now released, There's been many requests. We have a wonderful range at Trader called the Clouded Leopard product. It's a square finish. It's a European look switch. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth having a look at. It's matte black and matte white are the two colors that it comes in. You can see it on the screen there. The range has gone really well for us for high-end homes, and people have been asking, when can we have it? When can we have Powermesh look like it? We need to be able to fit it, because the beauty of the Powermesh product is it does just look like your old, dare I say it, it's a Puma or a Puma on the product on the wall. This means that if you've got the Clouded Leopard range, you can have that Clouded Leopard finish. So what we've now introduced also is the Clouded Leopard covers, and the examples on the screen at the moment are showing you just what they look like. It does give the customer that bold, yes, many people are looking for slim. Difficult in many instances these days to put Powermesh into the slim products. We're working on that. However, the market is almost now moving towards this really good looking, bolder product that has a really sleek finish, and the matte white and matte black makes it look really good. So one of the things we've now moved to is this Clouded Leopard. So we have covers available now. Those covers are good for your double power points, for your switches. You can see them all installed here in both the matte white and matte black. So the matte white obviously looks great, but the matte black really is a special finish, and really stands out in terms of, you can see that on the wall there, even with a bit of the blue light through that indicator there. Bearing in mind, for those that haven't used the product, that the blue you can turn that off, so you don't have to have that product on. You don't have to have that on the wall as well. So I think that's one of the items that is available too in the new products. I'm just looking through a few of my notes here to get through to the next section. All right, so that's the Clouded Leopard. Next, we've got our next guest, which is Nick Carroll. So is Nick available on the line now? So just in the meantime, I've got a few questions. So I'll just, while Nick's trying to jump on board, one of the questions that came through was the garage door controller. Do you need multiple garage door controllers? And I think we did mention that in the end. So, but yes, if you've got two doors, you only need one controller, but you do need two sensors. So you place the sensor on each of those doors. So that's one question. I think Nick might have jumped on board now. Nick, are you there?
Yeah, mate.
Perfect, crystal clear. So look, Nick, thanks for joining us. You're from Shepparton Smart Homes. I don't think I've met you. We might have in the past, but great to have you here. We've got certainly a mix of different people using Powermesh, some that are dabbling in automation for the first time, you who've had many experiences in this area. So I think we welcome you on board, Shepparton in Victoria. So thank you. So Nick, tell us a little bit about your business and the sort of clients you're dealing with.
So mainly I'm focusing on
a bit of feedback. Try again.
So I'm focusing on basically smart home systems for clients. I've worked in the industrial food and beverage sector for almost 20 years, and just wanted to branch out from that and offer this to people in my area.
So hey Nick, I'm no expert here, but have you got the speaker on? I'm just trying to think what you need to do. I'm just getting a little bit of feedback when you're talking, that's all.
Okay, hang on a second.
We can survive, but it's.
Is that better there, Matt?
Yeah, that sounds great. Excellent, perfect. All right, sorry, go on. Yes, talking a little about your business.
Yeah, so just offering that to clients around my area that nobody is really picking up in my area is what I wanted to sort of focus on.
Yeah, excellent. And so you've done a lot. I mean, you can see from your logo on the screen there, you've done a lot of this. You've voice control, smart home technology for the elderly, Airbnb property management, all these different benefits that really are, I guess, becoming more and more important as we move forward at the moment. And your website looks great and tells us about all these things. So how did you first become aware of Powermesh, and how did you perhaps think you'd dabble in it to work it in with what you were already doing?
Well, the catalyst for researching it, I suppose, was building a new property for my family. And I wanted a point of difference from all the other stuff I was offering. I wanted something to look smart and sleek, and to be able to allow people to come to my place and see it, feel it, work it for themselves in the future once I had my property finished, to be able to have a live experience, to get a grasp of what was possible, and what they could be installing in their own home.
Excellent. So in your house, have you integrated it with other automation products, or you're mainly relying on the Powermesh network?
No, I have integrated it with a couple other different systems, but basically the lighting and fan controlling is done via the Zimmy app in my house. So yeah.
Perfect. And I noticed that you've also done something that I didn't, and put a tablet on the wall as a central control point. It works extremely well, and I no doubt customers would find that as quite a popular addition to the home.
This is just an easy tool to show people how it all works. It's a nice big screen. People can really get a feel for it. It's all well and good showing them on your phone, and some people just need to see that bigger screen, and it looks a bit more impressive than just handing them your phone and say, here, have a play around with that. They can go up to the wall, and they would possibly even use this same setup in their own home. So it's just a point of difference of what something may look like in their own home.
Perfect. So in terms of doing this, what we mentioned earlier about the handover process of Zimmy, how do you go in terms of, are you happy with the installation, the ease of installation and the handover process?
Yeah, extremely happy with it. I've done all different ways. I've done the email, I've done just sharing the network, and I've also walked clients through just setting it, installing the app themselves, getting an account, and setting them up by themselves, getting them to step through it, and then going forward and scheduling their new device, or whatever they need the new device for.
Perfect. Out of interest, I didn't have this on my little list here, but rundown timers. Have you implemented any of those? I always find that's something that you don't realise you need until you try it.
Well, you need these when you have kids, and kids leave stuff on. Yep. So I've got quite a number of these in place in my place. Things like exhaust fans, most lighting. Even so far out in the garage, lighting out there. So yeah, great feature. Will definitely, and this is a good point of sale to clients as well, where I can offer that in one device on an app. No more wiring needs to be done, and it makes it real easy to sell.
No, good. Of all the products that you've used, lots of different Powermesh examples there. Is there one that stands out for you? Is the one that has given you been able to solve more problems for you, or the one that you find you're recommending to more customers than the others?
I lean towards the fan controller most. I find that product to be brilliant. It's very visually impressive, ease of operability, and clients can definitely get a tangible difference to what their existing setup is. Just a 3-way switch on the wall. You can turn it into a 7-speed fan, and the automatic function is, I believe, the real seller of this product, because people don't like to get up in the middle of the night and turn a fan speed down, whereas this will just do it for you.
Perfect. Yeah, so we do have that ability. So it's got that temperature control in there. So you can basically set and forget and not be woken up in the middle of the night with the thing spinning around at the top speed. But the other point you mentioned there was it can take a standard. You just got a standard fan that's got 3 speeds. It can grab that and make 7 speeds, which is often the way. I often hear that complaint. 3. I just need I need a 3.5 or 2.5 and a 1.5, and this provides you with the opportunity to do that. So. Excellent. So we've seen your house. So how does the family enjoy it? Do they find the benefits in having an automated home?
Yeah, they fully embrace it. Especially my young bloke, he likes this sort of stuff. So it's easy for the family to get around, and it works well on the iPad on the wall. Everybody can just walk up and have whatever they need at their fingertips. So it makes family living.
That's right. So some of the programming schedules that you've set up in your places, I mean, it's all about the little things. It might seem like something. These are the things you can offer clients. I believe you did something with the pantry as well.
Yeah, so I get up early in the morning when I'm on a day shift, and I'll set the pantry to come on at the lights in there to come on at 4:30 in the morning, so I can get up and get ready. Then I'll allow the lights in the garage to come on at about 5 o'clock. So when I'm moving throughout the house and need to exit, I'll the lights just follow me through the house, and I'm gone by about 5:10 in the morning, and all the lights are off 5 minutes after I've left.
Perfect. There's so many benefits. I know we have just a exercise machine out the back shed that my daughter uses, and she always turns all 3 fans on out there and leaves them on, and comes back in, and I mightn't go in there for another week and find the fans have been going for a week. So we just set them to go off each night at midnight, and you know that they're not left on. So just the little things. I know fans aren't chewing huge amounts of power, but it's just those little things that are so easy to set up and really makes a big difference. So some great ways. And the heated towel rails that we saw the pictures of, again, another one where kids will inevitably turn them on, or anyone really, you turn them on and 24 hours, you realize they've been on the whole day and you didn't need them on. So you're using that facility as well, Nick.
It works really well on the towel rails. I just set them for, I think it's about 2 hours every morning. So it's about the time where everybody's done with the bathroom activities. So once the towels are hung up, they're dried for basically another 2 hours, and it just works well.
Perfect. Look, you've given us lots of food for thought there. I think the one last question, we've talked a little bit about Behaviour Link. Have you been utilising Behaviour Link in your place or with your clients?
Yeah, I've got a number of that set up in my house. I have used it for clients, and the ease of telling them, right, I don't have to get into your roof space and put some more wiring in and cost you labour, is a big sell. So it makes it easy for me, and not having to get into a roof space to put more wires in, and it just makes it very workable from a downstairs point of view for a client.
Perfect. So, and I think, one of lots of different benefits, and as you get, you'd use more and more of this Behaviour Link. The other service that we do provide at Trader is we can print on these plates as well, or even on the mechs if necessary, anything in particular that you might want. So we obviously are working on some icons, but any words that you might want on those plates, just to clarify what it is, because as you use Behaviour Link, it becomes cleverer, and you're using a lot more things in the process, a lot more buttons to do a lot more things. It probably needs a better description than what might otherwise be there. So that's another service that is offered that we can provide as well. So look, Nick, I think really from your point of view, you're doing some wonderful things. We thank you for supporting us and for giving it a try. And it's great news, and you're a real success story. Certainly one of the things we've invested heavily in is APIs now. And what we're doing is so that it can, I know we had a lot of feedback in the early days when we launched that you weren't able to integrate our products in with other systems. Well, that's all changed now. So we've managed to spend a lot of time getting, first of all, Samsung up to speed. We had some trouble with Android in the early days. We think we've solved most of that. The next was to get those APIs up and running, and that's now starting to work for us well as well. So it really means you may have a significant automated, fully wired system, but you just want a smart power point to be integrated out in the garden for garden lights, then we can do that, and we can integrate with a larger system. So, with every day, we're developing more and more products and more software and improving the product with everyone's feedback, such as the people on the call. So we're starting to really, if anything, I hope that the guys from Redline and Nick have been able to inspire everyone on the call and give you some ideas for how you might be able to use our product, to promote it, to solve your clients' problems in a better way. So anything else to add, Nick, at all that you might want to say about Powermesh before we let you go?
No, I'm really enjoying using the product. It's just the ease of use for handover for the clients. It just makes it a joy to use. It's easy to wire up, and to pass it on to the client is what contractors need, because the less time spent fumbling around looking at a phone trying to get something working for them, the better. It doesn't make you look good in the end, but this product, once you roll it out and hand it over, it's very, very simple, and it's a joy to use.
Perfect. All right. Now, look, we really appreciate your time as well. Thank you for joining us and helping out. We'll cover off a couple more things. I just want to talk a little bit more about the garage door controller. Still got about 10 minutes on the schedule and hit those question and answers. Keep your questions coming. We will get to them. I'll have a look in a second. I think we've got quite a list building up, which is good. So onto the garage door controller. You can see it on the screen there in terms of the product. So this is relatively new. We've had it out for a while, and just we didn't do a hard launch. We've got it out there. We've managed to get some stock in, and obviously getting product in from overseas at the moment has its challenges, as you'd all be aware. And certainly putting things on planes is not really a viable option at the moment. But the garage door controller, it is that two-piece unit. You can see the controller on the left and the sensor on the right. We did mention that you can have one controller and two sensors on two doors. The sensor works on a range of products, so it's on most motors will work with this product. We've certainly tested it on as many as we possibly could, and it also works on different types of roller doors as well. So whether it's roller, sectional, and tilt doors, the product can provide a solution, and that's really what it's about. So what it does allow you to do, and I'm just sort of a few of the bullet points here, is that you open the garage door with your phone or via voice control. Both will work. Stay alerted if the garage door is open, so you can arrange. And again, Powermesh really does get better with age. It's a bit like red wine. We keep coming up with more ideas, and once you put the hardware in, it's just the software that we improve to create new features for you and your clients. So it means you can stay alert if the garage door is open. So if you ever drive off and think, oh no, I've left the garage door open, then you don't need to go back to check. Your Zimmy network will tell you that that is either open or closed. You can know when your family arrives or leaves. Share access with friends and guests. It's an important one. Someone's coming around, you might have left the key out or whatever it might be. You're able to let other people into your home via the garage door. Create a flight path to open the door to different heights. So you can prepare this in the setup process. And I mentioned that earlier about the deliveries going under the door where you don't want it fully open, or you just want it, 40% of the way because the kids are using it as a backdrop for cricket or whatever it might be. These are the different things you can do. The product has other features as well, like monitoring the temperature and humidity, can give you that feedback. So some of the products that we are developing, like the fan controller mentioned earlier, just adding these little features in that provide a few other services and help you to sell value to your clients. Add a Powermesh switch to add automatic garage lighting. Obviously, the guys mentioned that. The Redline guys mentioned that one in terms of what we can do. So it's that behavior link works again here. And really, it's just easy to install and compatible with any existing system and all garage door types. So if anything, I'd urge you to give it a go. The best thing you can do, like I said before, grab one, throw it on your own garage door if you've got one, or a friend or a neighbor or a family member. Give it a go, see how easy it is, and then it's a whole new offer that you can take to market. And this is just one more, I think, on the list now of our new products. I know the Zimmy guys don't like me talking too much about what's coming, but whether it's the blind controllers, there is the new dimmers that are about to be released. There's a whole lot of exciting stuff coming that'll just continue to expand what we do. And if there's anything we don't have, then the APIs can certainly help us as well, because we can really integrate it in to do anything that those other products are helping you to do. All right. So I think all in all, I'm just mindful of the time. That's 40 minutes down. You can see there the garage door got there open 30% using your voice control. The look of the app there showing you the flight path. It's the terminology we use for how we're controlling the flow of the garage door and where it's sitting. So really, it is a product that you can grab from your electrical wholesaler today, get in there, trial it, and give it a go. I think is the best thing we can say. I think that might be the end of the slides, Alex. I think we're ready for Q&A, if I'm right. 60% open, never be left in the dark again. Right, so Q&A, I'm just going to have a look down at the list of questions. So I got through number one. Reading, so I'll read these out. I haven't pre-read them, so hopefully I don't get myself in trouble. But last week, Tasmania had an internet outage. One of the real benefits of Powermesh over other Wi-Fi based systems is the retention of the fundamental functionality of Powermesh devices is retained. Schedules, timers, delays all keep on working with only the loss of the cream functionality, i.e. Google and Alexa commands. With the roller door controller, is that designed with the same robustness so that in an internet NBN outage, the roller door will still operate? So, Jai, that's a question from Andy Boyd. I think you are there, Jai. I need your help to answer that one. I'm assuming.
Definitely.
Yes.
So, look, yeah, the regardless of the internet status, things like timers are all local. Garage door controller would still work locally. All the functionality is retained. The one thing that you won't have access to would be either remote operation or voice control without the internet being available to the site.
Right. Yep. Perfect. So everything on that Bluetooth mesh network, you've got access to. It all kicks back in. But certainly while the internet's out, the things relying on the internet, remote access and voice control is the challenge. That's the two. So no, very clear. I think that answers that question. I'll clear those up. The next one, what sort of distance does Behaviour Link work over, especially for internal, external applications in rural areas where block sizes can be large? Now, I'll also get Jai's help there, but I can say that I've done numerous examples myself. In the early days, Bluetooth was very much criticised for the distance that it operated over. I've managed to get 50 metres out of my Bluetooth, and we've spent a lot of time putting the best antennas into this product that we can to get more and more distance. The distance is certainly dependent on how many walls you're going through and garden and trees and the like. But perhaps Jai, as a technical answer to that question, what sort of distance does Behaviour Link work over? You might be able to help us out. This is Susan's question.
Yeah, so look, we don't actually have a standardized range for that. It really depends on a number of factors, environmental being the biggest. So again, obstacles in the way, how many walls you're going through, the type of building, structure. We do maximize the range. So every product has a dedicated, specialized antenna built for each product. So we do get the maximum range available. But look, 20 to 30 meters should be achievable in most cases, but it really does depend on the site. The best thing to do is, before you install it, is connect it up and actually give it a quick test if you are going to or planning to use it over a longer distance. The other option that can be done is if you are able to, you can place devices in between. So if you do have a long distance to span, every Powermesh device acts as a repeater. That's the whole point of it being a mesh. So you can actually extend the range by putting other devices in between, where you're starting from and where you're trying to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, look, certainly there are some limitations, but we do have countless examples of people utilizing it with a product down in the back shed, in paddocks and the like. And so whether they have had to put a PowerPoint midway through as a repeater or not, but certainly in an open area like that, I've found that we've been able to get a significant distance, but it certainly is environmental really as to exactly how far it goes. So I hope that does help you, Susan, but it does vary, but you can certainly dare I say 30 to 50 meters in my experience, reasonable. And I was getting 30 and one device was on one area inside a steel shed. So certainly with the new antennas that are in the product, it's working well for us. The next one, Andy Boyd asked a question about a motion sensor. I know this has been up for debate a little bit. I know we don't have Jordan on the call today, unfortunately. Jordan really runs the product roadmap. We've certainly discussed and worked on how we were going to go about a sensor. Can you confirm, Jai, do we have anything in the immediate future, or is it?
There's nothing in the immediate future. There's a couple of options that people have. So we've had a couple of electricians that have worked out a solution with a standard, I believe I can't remember which one it is, but there is, I think it might have been with one of the trader sensors, which we are looking to do a write-up on once they technically confirm it, and we do it here, which you can integrate a standard sensor. The other option is we have, as you mentioned before with the API, there will be a home assistant API release, which really allows you to run your own little home automation controller, and then you can then bring in third-party connected sensors to be able to, add into your Powermesh system and then put all trigger points on that. But right now, there's nothing in the immediate future that will be a dedicated Powermesh sensor. But like I said, once we do confirm it, we do believe we have a solution that will be able to use a standard trader motion sensor that can be wired in.
Perfect. So yeah, definitely, it's definitely something, and we've got a roadmap of about 30 different great products to come. It's always just a matter of prioritizing which ones are to come. I think James has just asked a little bit more, but Jai's going to type an answer there. I'm looking on the screen at how we're going to handle that one. The heated tower, a suggestion from Luke on the heated tower rail. It's also not a bad idea to switch it to off delay outside the schedule with a 15-minute delay. That way, if it's not quite dry, you can press for a 15-minute extra dry time. So again, this is what happens, and this is why these forums are so helpful, is people try things, have a go, and we learn new benefits and new features and things like that we can then put into the marketing and make sure that we express clearly to our clients, our joint clients, yours and ours, just how we can make this product work better for them. So some really good suggestions there. Another one, does Powermesh switches work as Wi-Fi extenders when it is connected to a Zimmy cloud? What is a Wi-Fi extender? I don't think. Jai, correct?
I mean, if you're just asking, I mean, each switch does work as a network repeater. So the more switches you have in the mesh, the stronger the mesh is and the better the signal is. And you can use them as extenders. So if you're trying to get out the backyard, you might want to put one near the door, and then it'll extend out. So each switch does act as a repeater for the network, but it's not Wi-Fi.
Right. Okay. No problem. And I'm just checking here. We've got a few comments being made. Behaviour Link is one of the major benefits of Powermesh over other products. Countdown timers are great for heat lamps in the bathroom when you have kids too. And we have another question, which I think has been answered. So I think that's the questions on the list. If there were no more questions.
The other thing, Matt, just wanted to jump in.
Sure.
I've just got Thomas with me as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Thomas can say hi.
Hello, everyone.
So Thomas is our Zimmy support guru. And I think one of the key points that we just want to get across is we actually have Thomas available, during business hours with a dedicated phone number for electricians. It's one of the services that we're offering for installers that are out in the field if you do need assistance while you're on site. So 1300 My Zimmy is a direct line to Thomas. Now, if he's on another call, just leave him a message or send him a text message and he'll get back to you. But he's there to act as a support for everyone in the field whilst you're doing these setups. He works with us at Zimmy HQ, so he's with the technical team. So it's not something that he is able to answer himself straight away. He's got all the engineering team plus myself here available to get those answers for you guys whilst you're on site. So that's the best way to get support if it's something that you're trying to need. If it's a general question, you can definitely email us. We have a great support site, so support.zimmy.life. There's a huge knowledge base full of articles on there that you can scan through and get answers to. Also, it's a great place to point your customers. But also with Thomas, he's there. He's very knowledgeable in the system. He plays with every mobile phone that we've got. If you're having, if you find a bug or what you think might be a bug, just bring it up to his attention. He can raise it with the team. So it's a great resource to have it, to know available. To know he's available there to help you when you're on site.
Perfect. Absolutely. And
1300 My Zimmy.
Yes, that's it. 1300 My Zimmy. So any queries, or you can go in to the Zimmy site and request over email. He's very quick to respond. So definitely worthwhile utilizing that service and using Thomas wherever you can. The other thing, one of the questions that did come through that we answered offline, but one of the things is, do we have training modules or is it pretty simple? It is pretty simple, but certainly we're not naive enough. If you've never used it, you could pretty much take it out of the box and work it out. However, what you'll see on the screen now, Jordan, who wasn't able to make it today, but has built this program we call Powermesh Masterclass. So I urge you to go and have a look at it. To do so, you can basically scan that QR code on the screen there now. You would have received emails, hopefully, from us in the past. So if you also search Masterclass, you'll get that Powermesh Masterclass. You'll get a link to where it is. But scan that QR code or go to www.zimmy.life powermesh.com/masterclass. You'll go in there. There is a code. So by all means, put that code in that you can see there. So CNPIGC. Put that code in. It'll take you into this area. Now, you'll see here, and I can't remember exactly how many there are now. I think there's about 30 roughly. Very short. You can see the time frame there. Each different topic tells you it's very quickly broken up. Jordan does a wonderful job of explaining it in very simple terms. Some of them are a minute, some of them are 45 seconds. You can go in and see, point 11 is the fan controller. Go and have a look for 1 minute 40. I think all up, it's certainly, you can watch all of them in certainly under an hour. I think it was about 47 minutes from memory to go through and sit and watch them, but it goes through all of the news of how to set it up, how to use the app, what different features are available of those products, how to use Behaviour Link, auto off timers, talks about the product range. Everything is there. So really, I mean, you've invested a very solid 45 minutes, 50 minutes with us here today, and we thank you for that. If you haven't gone in and looked at that Powermesh, you can do it over 6 months if you like, but certainly have a crack. Go in there and see, and you can even then pass that in many ways to your clients to have a look at if they really wanted to have a better understanding of just how good this system can be. So please, I'd urge you to give that a go. And we will, you can again see that link there, take a photo of the QR code, go in and have a look. Definitely worth doing. They do a much better job of explaining this product than I do. We're more than happy. And then by all means, if you go to Zimmy, you can certainly ask any questions of us that we're more than happy to help you out with, whether it's technical with Thomas or commercial with any of your trader sales team are there to help. So all in all, I think that's well and truly covered us off. I haven't got any more specific questions, just looking at various comments. Local support is golden, a real plus over other brands. So look, obviously we've got some supporters on here. I'm reading a lot of these off without having read ahead. And I've got some feedback from our team behind the scenes telling me that the question of the day is Susan Bailey. So Susan, you've won a garage door controller. I hope you've got a garage door. If not, I'm sure you can find someone. But certainly it's a great offer, and we'd love you to put that in and tell us how you go, and maybe you'll be on the call on the next Mesh Master program, telling us a little bit about your experience, which will no doubt be positive. So without any further questions, thank you so much to everybody. Thank you to the trader team and the Zimmy team for their help, for going through it. And we really hope you get something out of this. We certainly do. It's good to share. I haven't seen how many we've got on there today, but we used to get 200. We've got down to 100. So hopefully we're up around there again. But we really do appreciate you taking your afternoon off and spending it with us. And hopefully we've given you some ideas and some inspiration to take Powermesh to your clients and solve many more of their problems in a better, more efficient, easier, cost-effective way, and with a bit of smarts in behind it as well. So thank you, everyone. Really appreciate your time, and we'll speak to you probably in about 3 months' time on the next session. Thank you.